Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're tuning into something quite fundamental, something that threads through, well, ancient wisdom and also our own direct experience. It's about the inner flow of energy within you.
hmm It's helpful to maybe picture a stream always moving, always flowing,
Right.
and how it shapes its surroundings, nourishes the banks. It's quite a powerful image, really.
It is.
Our own inner energy, you could say. It behaves in a similar way. It influences our inner world, how we move through life.
And that idea that just like a stream blocked with debris becomes stagnant, well, obstructions in our own energy flow can lead to that feeling, that real sense of being stuck.
Exactly. And the perspectives we've been looking at, they really highlight this connection between that inner movement and kind of deep harmony, like a natural order finding its balance.
Yeah, it suggests that when we align with this flow, something like greater well-being just naturally arises.
It does. Think about those times, when you feel truly alive, really
Yeah.
vibrant, and contrast that with moments of frustration, feeling weighed down. What's the underlying difference there?
It could be this very current, couldn't it? This almost unseen force influencing whether we're thriving or just sort of getting by.
Which really brings us to the core of what we want to explore today.
Mm-hmm.
Can we uncover a practical technique, a method perhaps, to help us become more aware of this inner energy and maybe even consciously direct it?
That's the goal.
And it's interesting, the imagery of water comes up so often in contemplative traditions, not just as energy in motion, but as a teacher of wisdom, really.
How so?
Well, it's adaptability. Water doesn't fight an obstacle, does it? It yields, flows around it.
Right.
But it always keeps its essential nature, always keeps moving forward. There's a lesson there for our own resilience.
That inner fluidity, that ability to adjust, it feels crucial for navigating life's inevitable challenges.
It is. And for staying open to possibilities we might miss if we're too rigid. There's that lovely little story, isn't there? The young monk getting flustered by spilling tea, the mess.
Ah, yes, I remember that one.
And the teacher gently points out, the struggle isn't the spill itself. It's the resistance to its unpredictability.
So true ease comes from flowing within the chaos, not trying to control it.
Exactly. It points to a different kind of strength. A quieter strength, maybe.
It feels almost paradoxical. Our instinct is often to grip tighter, right?
Yeah.
To control things when they feel uncertain. But these insights suggest real power comes from, well, letting go, trusting that natural flow inside us.
And think about those times you've been totally absorbed in something. Time disappears. Effort feels effortless.
That flow state.
That state of being utterly present, engaged.
Yeah.
It has such a deep connection to mindfulness, that complete immersion in the now.
Where your energy is just perfectly aligned with what you're doing. But it's not just about waiting for those moments to happen to us, is it? It seems like consciously cultivating this state, making an effort to engage with presence. That's where the potential lies.
Yes, and that's where we need to delve a bit deeper.
Okay.
If we want to understand cultivating this flow, the story of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, is quite powerful.
His enlightenment journey.
Yes, years of focusing inward, that profound awakening under the Bodhi tree. It wasn't presented as some sudden magic trick,
No, it was the result of discipline.
Sustained discipline, intentionally turning his energy inward to find clarity.
And what's so relevant is that this principle, this inward focus for clarity, it seems to apply whether our goals are, spiritual or very practical, everyday things.
It does. That ability to focus inward unlocks something vital.
And it's amazing how modern understanding is catching up in a way. Mindfulness meditation, that deliberate inward turn, it's backed by research now, showing real benefits, better focus, creativity, emotional balance.
Even, remarkably, positive changes in the brain itself, strengthening areas linked to self-awareness, compassion.
So it's not just about being still for the sake of stillness. It suggests that bringing awareness to our actions actually amplifies our energy, makes it easier maybe to move towards our goals.
Exactly. Amplifies it. And shifting gears slightly, if we look at modern psychology, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's work on flow.
Ah, yes, the flow state concept.
He describes it as that sweet spot, doesn't he? Between the challenge of a task and our skill level.
Right, that's when you get deeply absorbed.
And the part of the brain that judges and doubts, the prefrontal cortex, it tends to quieten down and takes a back seat.
Okay, so when we're really engaged, stretched, but not overwhelmed, that inner critic just fades.
That's the idea. And what's fascinating is how closely this mirrors older concepts, like the Zen idea of no mind, mushina,
No mind.
pure awareness, without the ego interfering. Both ideas point to letting go of mental clutter, trusting our innate abilities.
So by dropping that internal chatter, the doubt, the overthinking, we actually free up energy. Mental and emotional energy.
A tremendous amount, yes.
And it's good to remember this isn't just for, like, high-stakes performance. We can find this flow in ordinary tasks, too.
Absolutely, if we approach them with intention, with presence.
Like really noticing the sensations when you're washing dishes or walking.
Exactly, truly engaging with the sensory details, rather than just being on autopilot. Cultivating that presence in the small things makes it easier to access flow more often.
Now, these perspectives also talk about what gets in the way, what hinders this natural energy flow, those areas where we feel stuck or drained.
What are the causes of those blockages?
Yeah.
Well, some traditions describe them as deeply ingrained patterns. Patterns of thinking, behaving, believing that hold us back.
Like habits.
Habits, yes, but deeper maybe. Stemming from past experiences, conditioning, or even limits we put on ourselves without realizing it. Think of them as energetic knots.
Okay. Like that feeling of, I'm not good enough, or always comparing yourself, those kinds of core beliefs.
Precisely those. They become real obstructions to energy flow. But the hopeful part is they're not necessarily permanent.
They can be untangled.
They can be gently untangled. The first step is awareness, recognizing them without judgment, and then being willing to explore them kindly.
Which leads to how we can actively encourage the flow. I love that image of a small pebble dropped in a pond.
Ah, yes, the ripples spreading outwards.
It feels like a powerful metaphor for mindful action.
It really is. It speaks to interconnectedness, doesn't it? That every small intentional action has a wider effect. On our inner state, yes, but also on the energy around us.
And it makes you realize those tiny choices, like how you start your morning, they can have a big impact.
They really can. The difference between grabbing your phone immediately versus, say, taking just a few mindful breaths.
It sets a different tone for the whole day.
Exactly. Even brief moments of focused intention, like in monks' morning rituals, they can reset our energetic balance. The key isn't just what we do, but the quality of presence we bring to it.
Infusing tasks with awareness. Purpose. It creates a positive feedback loop.
It does. And that brings us to intention itself. Satana, the driving force.
Described as the seed, the direction we give our energy.
There's that analogy of the mind as fertile soil.
Right.
Our intentions are the seeds we plant. So consciously choosing which seeds, which thoughts to nurture, that becomes vital for directing our energy.
That personal story we came across was striking. Someone stuck professionally, feeling desperate, and then shifting their intention from lack to visualizing purpose, contribution.
And things started to change. It's a powerful example of how shifting our inner view can genuinely shift our outer reality.
And that applies everywhere, doesn't it? Relationships, health, finances.
Cultivating intentions aligned with what we truly value. But of course, intention needs action to manifest, mindful action.
They work together. Now, something else mentioned was rituals, which might sound a bit old-fashioned to some.
They might, but the perspective offered is to see them as maybe sacred practices connecting us to something larger, giving structure, meaning.
Stripped of dogma, they're tools for growth, anchoring energy.
That's the idea. Think of the Japanese tea ceremony, Chen-no-yu.
So mindful, so much respect in a seemingly simple act.
Exactly. And we can bring that quality into simple daily habits. Morning gratitude, evening reflection, mindful movement like yoga or just stretching consciously.
They become anchors.
Anchors for our energy flow. They transform ordinary moments, remind us to slow down, honor the present, create a rhythm.
It seems one of the biggest roadblocks, though, are those limiting beliefs we talked about.
Those invisible barriers, often rooted way back in childhood or society, dictating our thoughts, our actions, without us even noticing sometimes.
In Buddhist terms, they're seen as attachments that cause suffering.
Yes. And recognizing them, questioning the stories we tell ourselves, asking, where did this belief come from? That's the first step to loosening their grip.
And then actively challenging them, replacing negative self-talk with, say, positive affirmations, reframing failure.
Exactly. Seeing setbacks not as proof of inadequacy, but as, well, learning opportunities, fuel for wisdom, resilience. That changes the energy completely.
Surrounding yourself with supportive people helps too, I imagine.
Absolutely. Whose energy amplifies your own rather than drains it.
So pulling all this together, it feels like a gentle blueprint emerges. Start small. one mindful habit.
Cultivate awareness of your energy levels. Notice what drains you, what lifts you.
Set clear intentions, both small daily ones and bigger ones.
Practice self-compassion. This isn't about forcing anything.
And maybe create an environment, a physical space that feels inspiring, peaceful.
Yes, it's all about building a foundation, patiently, persistently. It's not a quick fix.
Which brings us finally to the core technique suggested, conscious energy breathing.
The breath. It's seen as this fundamental bridge, isn't it, between body, mind, spirit, in so many traditions.
Like Buddhist mindful breathing and Anapanasati.
Exactly. And this technique builds on that foundation.
How does it work practically?
Well, first, finding stillness. Sitting comfortably, spine straight but relaxed.
Okay.
Then, focusing on the breath. Maybe starting with 3 slow, deep belly breaths. Really feeling the abdomen expand and contract.
Grounding yourself.
Then, the visualization comes in. As you inhale, perhaps visualizing golden light entering, flowing through you, dissolving any tension or blockages.
And on the exhale.
Visualizing releasing anything stagnant, dark clouds maybe.
Yeah.
Just letting it go with the breath.
Okay, inhale light, exhale stagnation.
And then you can add affirmations. Silently repeating phrases aligned with your intentions with real conviction.
Like,
On the inhale, maybe I am open to receiving abundance. On the exhale, I release fear and doubt. Tailored to whatever you're working with.
pairing the breath with the intention.
Yes. And then perhaps extending that awareness. Feeling your energy connecting to a larger field. Universal energy, however you can see that.
Expanding beyond just yourself.
And finally, concluding with gratitude. For the breath, the body, this moment, the opportunities ahead.
It sounds quite simple, actually.
The simplicity is part of its beauty. But, as the sources emphasize, don't underestimate its power. Consistent practice is key.
Right. It's not magic, it's practice.
Exactly. And it works on multiple levels. Physiologically, deep breathing calms the nervous system, stimulates the parasympathetic response, rest and digest, reduces stress hormones like cortisol.
Okay, so it literally calms the body down.
Yes. And psychologically, the visualization, the affirmations, they reinforce positive neural pathways. It aligns with those principles of thought and intention, shaping reality. What you focus on expands.
Interesting.
And for maybe a more quantum perspective, connecting with that sense of universal energy taps into that feeling of interconnectedness, which can be incredibly inspiring and supportive.
So it bridges science and, let's say, spirituality for managing energy.
In a very practical, holistic way, yes.
And we heard some stories, didn't we? Real people experiencing changes.
Yes, like Sarah, the designer, using it to overcome imposter syndrome, finding more confidence.
And James, dealing with chronic fatigue, using affirmations for strength, finding energy returning.
Or Maria, the small business owner, visualizing financial flow with gratitude, and then seeing unexpected opportunities arise.
Those examples really show the potential impact when you align thoughts, emotions, actions with that energy flow.
They illustrate that we can become active participants in shaping our experience.
So ultimately, it's not just about doing the breathing technique now and then, is it? Living in flow sounds like more of an ongoing way of being.
That seems to be the deeper invitation, yes. Cultivating presence in each moment, appreciating the ordinary.
Giving your full attention, that amplifies energy too.
And consciously releasing resistance, noticing procrastination, frustration, fear, and gently letting them go, focusing on solutions instead.
And embracing change, seeing it not as a threat, but as growth.
Welcoming it as an opportunity, trusting there might be hidden gifts even in challenges. When these become natural ways of being, energy flows more freely. You radiate a different quality.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, the key takeaway feels like this is a journey. Cultivating energy flow isn't a destination you arrive at.
No, it's about embracing the process, the ups, the downs. It's ongoing.
But listeners now have a really practical technique, the conscious energy breathing, and hopefully a deeper feel for the principles behind it.
Start small, be consistent, trust your own unfolding. That seems to be the essence.
Maybe listeners could consider, how might they weave that breathing practice into their day, even 5 minutes?
Or what small ritual could they begin, just to cultivate more presence? Where might they notice resistance and gently start to release it?
Good questions to ponder.
And remembering, just like those streams feeding a river, your energy is part of something vast, interconnected.
It's a comforting thought. We really encourage everyone listening to keep exploring this in their own experience. What resonated? What questions came up?
This is just the beginning, really. Understanding and harnessing that powerful, beautiful flow of energy within.